Hi Sagittarius, and welcome to your tarot reading for March 2021. If you're interested in the horoscope part of this, it is linked in the description below. So Sagittarius, this is a very cozy season, but it takes a real swing from the 20th onwards into a very passionate, a very playful, a very excitable, fun, outgoing time of the year for you, which sounds pretty good considering the beginning of the month is very cozy, very home-based, working on your home, Seven of Pentacles, maybe working on your garden, maybe working on just beautifying things, just making your nest more cozy, just looking after your family. Maybe you're trying different recipes, cooking, hosting, painting, decorating, all those type of cozy fourth house energies. And then Six of Swords, we start moving towards something quite new. We start moving towards very different waters for you. You are experiencing in Pisces season a little bit of internal healing and growth. You're seeing just how much you need to nurture yourself or nurture your family relationships, or how much your environment actually matters to your well-being. Because you know yourself, if you're cooped up at home and everything is a bit groggy looking and a bit grotty, it never feels nice. It's good to get a fresh lick of paint in the place for your own mental well-being. You know, your environment does affect your mood. So a lot of you are playing house. A lot of you are figuring out what it is that you need to... Oh, a few things came out there. What it is that you need to work on. King of Pentacles, Temperance, and the Nine of Wands. Okay, so we have a bit of a picture going on here. Some of you could be dealing with an earth sign, a Taurus, a Virgo, a Capricorn. And some of you could be dealing with another Sagittarius. So let's have a little look and see what your cards are saying. There's a couple of things coming up for you. The Libra full moon at the end of the month is a very different tone. The Libra full moon is one that could really get to some people emotionally. For you, it's happening in your wish fulfillment sector, your zone of friendships, groups. So there's likely, for many of you, a reunion with friendships or some kind of event with friendships, maybe a Zoom call. God knows everyone's a bit sick of those. Maybe a get-together online, or maybe if you're lucky enough, you're in a place where there is no lockdown or restrictions or anything like that. So maybe there's a bit of energy going there. Some of you might find out something about a friend being pregnant, being in a new relationship, or starting something creative, or they may have created something. Something seems to be happening for you in terms of what you learn online, what you learn from your friends, and what you learn about the future, or what it is that you're kind of moving away from. So some of you with the Six of Swords could be moving into a new relationship with an earth sign, or you could be moving into a new business or a new phase of business. So you could be a Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, or you could be moving into a new phase where you are taking on more responsibility, or you are self-employed. And some of you are really finding that the practical side of life, where you invest your energy into making things with your hands, or, you know, the same as that decorating energy, physical activity is sort of being very grounding and very healing for you. So this is really a time when you can benefit from being more grounded, being more present, being in the garden, really enjoying that spring energy. But because there's so much happening for you in the fourth house for most of the month, there is a need to look inward a little bit at what you're making for yourself, what you're creating for yourself, what you are investing your money in, what you're investing your time in order for you to feel more secure. Because, you know, it's nice to spend money on, I don't know, clothes or shoes and stuff, but it's also nice to have security, to have money for yourself in a situation where you might feel like you need a little nest egg or something like that, you know, because Sagittarians are sort of typically big spenders. They can usually spend a lot of money. They can usually throw money around. They can throw money at other people, for example. So it's just good to spend a bit of money on making yourself feel more secure, making your home feel more secure, or saving money or accumulating money or something like that. For those of you that are in your own business with the King of Pentacles and the Temperance card and the Nine of Wands, I think a lot of you are looking for a bit more balance. And this is actually, I swear the Temperance card has come up for most signs, and it's about that Libra full moon. So I feel like I'm repeating myself, but the Libra full moon is, Libra is the scales. It's all about finding where you're lacking balance in your life. For some of you, it could be a lack of balance between the internet and the present. For others of you, it can be between friends, social activities and love, or friendships, social activities and children, where there's no balance there. So I think a lot of you are investing in all things domestic, security, looking after yourself, nurturing your current relationships, looking inward, feeling present. And with the Temperance card, sometimes there can be, with this 9 of Wands energy, a need to stay in the moment with yourself, to focus on the breath, to focus on the presence, and to really be content because of this King of Pentacles energy with what you have built already. Because the King of Pentacles is typically a card that comes up for business owners or someone who has a lot of goals or big plans in career. They want to be self-employed, or they want to be a doctor or a lawyer, or they want to be someone who is somebody, someone who has big career goals in any capacity. Maybe working their way up, or maybe being in accounting or banking or whatever the King of Pentacles can represent. So with the Temperance card being you, I feel like you're being encouraged to make your home more secure before you go after this, because in Aries season, it's a lot of fun, right? It's a lot of fun. And Uranus is in the background in your 6th house of work, of routine. And then we're going to have a lot of planets going on there in late April. And what you need to do before then, because it's going to throw a lot of, initiative and sparks and ideas your way, you need to have your house in order. You need to have your emotional self in as good order as you can do, reflecting, not bringing the past forward, which is, funnily enough, something I think Sagittarians are blessed with. You have that mentality to shoot the arrow in the future and just go after things and embrace the future and what's new. And so in the 4th house, you can feel a bit uncomfortable, but you're also able to take a moment to really make sure that everything looks in order, everything looks the way that you want it to, everything feels the way that you want it to. Now, if you're dealing with an earth sign in any capacity, there is some healing there. Some of you could be finding yourself on better footing with someone that you've not been in good footing with, reconciliation energies, getting on better with somebody after discord, moving on from an issue, moving forward from an issue, especially if it's a work issue or a family issue, being able to move past it, either going separate ways or connecting together. But with Temperance being your card, one of the things that's always kind of prevalent about it is that the philosophy that we take, or the view that we take, is very much dependent on where we're standing. And so with the 4th house, you're usually standing in your home, you're usually standing in your environment, and so you're affected by what's there, whether it's a TV blasting the news at you, whether it is bad feng shui, or whether it's negative influences in the home or positive influences within the home. Where you're standing depends on your view. So with the Temperance card, it's important to see the other perspective just as much. We did just have a full moon in your 10th house, which really brought your career into focus. It really brought your reputation into focus, the success that you want for yourself into focus, and what you want to achieve for yourself. So let's have a little look at your oracle cards and see what we can get there for you, Sagittarius. It's funny, the move between the 4th and the 5th house is so significant. It's so obvious. You just feel it when things start shifting into your 5th house. Yeah, so a lot of you are indecisive about a career future or a career opportunity, or you're indecisive about what way it's going. And a lot of you are really very attached to the outcome. So some of you are working through some attachment issues. When I say the 4th house or the 12th house, I often think sometimes your issues with your family line come up. So whether there's been someone who's suffered a trauma, or something that happened, a relationship, or an absent parent or something, sometimes with the 4th house, those feelings can come up, and they can manifest in terms of financial security. So for some reason, whenever you're dealing with, if you have a poor relationship with your father, sometimes that can manifest as a heightened relationship with money, you know, either spending it too freely because you don't feel worthy of it, or it can be feeling like you need to save it all because you were left, as it were. So it's things like that. It's just seeing where your relationship with money comes from, actually, because with the man holding a coin and the attachment card, it seems that a lot of you are very confused about your career or your career prospects, or some of you have suffered a blow in that department. And the Temperance card is about getting that balance back and shifting a bit of a focus onto your home and your environment and what your relationship is with money internally. It's taking the focus back internally. And with the Patience card, your patience of some kind is being rewarded. And the first part of March is a time for rest and rejuvenation. And the second part is a new beginning, a journey, a new season, a new adventure. So let's do some more oracle cards, and we'll get your animal spirit card as well. Go outside. Okay, so there's something about green fingers and gardening coming up for Sagittarians quite a bit here. Let's see. What is the animal spirit message for Sagittarius? The raccoon and the firefly. Oh, that's really cute. Okay, raccoon and the firefly. So the firefly is quite obvious. It's where you can feel a bit burnt out. You're doing too much. You're being too busy, because the cards in the first half of the month are really giving you this settle down energy, take a rest, take a pause. The raccoon is sort of a hibernation energy, hiding in the shadows. It's also very artistic. So whenever we think of the second half of the month with the 5th house, there's a lot of artistic energy coming to you, a talent that you can use, being more musical, maybe enjoying music. But I do think with the raccoon, oftentimes it represents, at least in the book, the Kim Cran's Animal Spirit book, it represents an unresolved issue around self-image and success. So sometimes it can be the mask that we put on in order to appear successful, or the mask that we put on in order to fit in. And for a lot of you, that's being busy, keeping very busy, maybe to run away from something possibly, or also just to try and make something of yourself. So there could be a little bit of a creative ego fear that you can bring into balance by creating things for yourself. So gardening, playing an instrument, singing, making something, decorating. So the artistic energy within you, the more you tap into it, the better you're going to feel. The better you're going to feel about who you are and your success, and the easier it will be to attract success to your life, because you'll be on a vibrational level that's really very matching. One that matches what it is that you're looking to emulate in your life, you know? You become who you feel, really. It's kind of that dressing for the job you want rather than the job you have energy, just taking practical measures in order to be more in alignment with the goals you're trying to meet, because I do feel that there's an unresolved issue for some Sagittarians with success. And I also think with the raccoon and the firefly, some of you could have a really amazing idea when the Sun and Venus go conjunct in Aries towards the end of the month, around the 20th. Some of you could have a really good idea that you need to act on kind of quickly, that you need to take that spark and not reject it because you're not feeling quite right about yourself. So some of you, that could be a new relationship spark. That could be a flirtation that you want to ask somebody out, but you don't know how they feel. Or it could be that you see a course you want to apply for, but you think, do I really have the time? You know, it's a little bit of a spark that you can just roll with, and it can change your life. You know, the firefly energy is, it's very creative as well. Both of these energies are very creative, and we're going into the most creative part of the year for you. So if there's something that you want to do, but you're not so sure of, would you do it if you knew that you were completely supported and it would work out? If so, then do it. So Sagittarius, that is what I have for you. We'll get into the extended. We're going to go into all the different signs you could be dealing with, the Taurus, the Virgo, the Capricorn, all the different astrological energies, and get a little bit more in depth into your cards. So I shall see you there. Bye, Sagittarius.